How you doing, everyone? We're gonna do a test on these two skidsters, and the reason we're going with these two skidsters is because they both slide open windows. I do not prefer a cat or a bobcat or a deer because of the swing open door, just because the way we do stuff and getting in and out of the cab does not work for us. We like to slide open windows so you can leave them open, leave them shut. We're going to do some other tests today. We're going to do a walk around of each machine. We are going to do the insides of the cab, the easy maintenance of grease, changing oil, just the basic stuff. We're also going to go through what they can lift and what they can turn power-wise in the sand. Biggest thing for us is what they can lift, which machine can lift more, because when we're stacking logs or doing logging jobs, we don't want to have to bring another loader in to stack the logs. So that's going to be a big if what we want on that. But other than that, we're just going to do full walk around, normal test on both machines. They're both brand new. This has got maybe an hour on it, and this has 5 hours on it. So this is the Takeuchi TL12V2 high flow, and this is the Kubota 97 high flow machine too. So they're both comparison. I do know the specs are a little bit more on the Takeuchi. So the first thing we're going to look at is the Kubota. When I'm looking at a Kubota to purchase, I'm looking on how it is to grease, visibility, cab space, maintenance, just the typical things an owner wants to look at when you're buying them. Grease certs look to be pretty easy. Everything is fairly easy to get to. Right here, there, I mean, pretty simple. Tighten the tracks, 2 bolts there, loosen one, take the other one out, stick a grease gun in there, fairly easy. Cleaning them out in the winter is going to be fairly easy. Looks like a lot of space to dig the snow or the dirt out, the mud. We'll go to the back side here, and this has got an opposite door here. Pretty big, heavy-duty door. You know, you're not really gonna bend that up if you just hit a branch or something. If you back into something real hard, you probably bend her. Top lifts up here. Get your air filter. That's fairly easy to get to. See here, dipsticks right next to the air filter. That's not too bad. Overall, typical skidster. Pretty tight in here. Batteries right here. It seems a little tighter than it needs to be. Run cats my whole life, and the cat seems a little more open than this. But the doors on the cats are really flimsy, so prefer the heavier duty door over the space, I guess. So overall, looks pretty typical skidster, not much room. So we'll go around, same grease certs, everything. You got your def door right here. It's got a lock on it to help keep the branches out of it. That helps, I guess. I mean, it just seems like not real, pretty sturdy. Not, I mean, big enough stick's gonna break that. So you got your fuel. That's nice right there. Now, the biggest thing about the Kubota I've noticed already is getting in and out of it. 1-2 steps in and out of it. Fairly easy. I mean, boom, right, just like that. So we're looking at, very easy in and out. So as I'm in the machine, the things I noticed are, you sit down in it, it's pretty comfortable. Your joysticks in the Kubota seem to be at the right height. Pretty comfortable. My arms are on the armrest. Joysticks are perfect. Machine is a little tighter. I mean, I'm 6 foot 250, so I'm a big dude. The radio goes right here. There's not one in this one, but I don't like that design. You got to turn around to test your radio or turn your radio on or whatever. Everything else is pretty simple. A lot of leg room in this machine. I do like that. Slide open window, it's pretty nice. Just clip. And let me see here. And to open it, I mean, I just clicked it and it pretty much spring loaded. Pretty nice. So that's really nice being spring loaded, open and close. Now the visibility in here out the sides, I would say is really good. Not so much out the back. The back's pretty big. You can't see a whole lot behind you, but they put a camera in here for you. So you got a nice camera for anything you're doing behind you. But the visibility is very good out the sides. Machine seems a little tighter than the Takeuchi, and you'll see that here soon. The controls are all pretty simple. You got the typical forward and back on your left, all the bucket controls on your right. Your swivel, if you're running a grapple or something, is on your right joystick. Everything else seems pretty legit. I have no complaints about the Kubota cab. I've run a Kubota quite a bit. I prefer the visibility out the front here is really good. Let me show you on the... So that's your visibility right there. I mean, you can definitely see the tip of the bucket. You can see your quick attach here, both sides. That's nice. I don't have to lean forward to see your quick attach or anything. Your edge of your bucket, you can see that really nice. Joystick controls. We got the backup camera. Overall, very nice machine. A lot of leg room. Now let's check out the Tak. So we are going to check out the Takeuchi now, and I noticed as you look at both of these machines, the Takeuchi is a lot bigger, beefier, taller, just an overall bigger machine. And that can be good and bad, but not a big deal for me just because of the application I do. It doesn't really matter. So let's start with the Takeuchi. We have pretty easy grease certs on just like the Kubota, pretty easy to get to. We got big handles to get up in it. Easy grease certs just like the Kubota. Actually got yellow around them, so you pretty much catch where they're all at. That's pretty nice. We got the fuel, we got the def. They got this gauge right here that tells you if it's full or not. If it's a straight line, it's full, and if it's not, it's not full. And that one's beeping, so the fuel's about half in it, I think. Overall, I'm standing next to this machine. I'm roughly 6 feet on a good day, and this thing is huge. Stand next to the Kubota, and I mean, it's a little bit, quite a bit smaller machine. So the cylinders on this thing are just massive cylinders. I mean, look, I mean, those are just huge cylinders compared to these little things. That right there is a big thing for me. I was taught always buy bigger, better stuff. So that was a that's big. When I look at stuff like that, cylinders, arms, just the overall machine, how it's built, seems to be a lot heavier. Shut this up. I mean, you look at your cross tube here, that's my hand on it, and then you look at this cross tube. I mean as a big notice and difference there. So now we're at the back. Open up just like the Kubota there, and I think big door, big heavy door. We got the radiator right here, pretty big. Air filter about like the Kubota, easy to get to. engine oil dipsticks way in the back there, a little harder to get to. That's a little strange. But overall, typical skidster, hard to get to anything. The battery's down here in the corner, but they do put a service door to get to your battery. So 3 bolts, boom, you're to your battery. So that's pretty nice. Overall, you know, you look at your framework here, and it's just big and beefy, big pins. Overall track undercarriage looks like might be a little harder to clean in the winter, but not much, not enough to really say it at all. 2 bolts, get to your greaser again, pretty easy to tighten your tracks. Your arm on this thing is just huge, massive arm. Now on these machines, lifting capacity is pretty big difference. You son of a gun. The lifting capacity on this is, I believe, 13,000 pounds tipping load capacity. The Kubota's only like 8,500, I would say. But the reason I'm going with either one of these machines is the slide open window. I will not buy another machine with a swing open door. I don't care if it's the best machine on the market. And if I was going to have another machine here, a third machine here, it would be a John Deere, because they lift the most and they have the biggest. I think they're actually more than the Kubota, but less than the Tak tipping load capacity. It's like 11,000 or something like that. It's quite a bit. Overall though, the swing open door is a big thing for me. I don't like it. I prefer the slide open window. We've had them in the past, loved them. We went to the swing outdoors, and it's just not what we like. So now let's talk about getting into Takeuchi. Now you look at the Takeuchi, and it is a lot more to get up in. It is 2 more steps to get in. The Kubota is right here, is just really easy, real easy to get in. Where the Takeuchi isn't so much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the camera up. You guys can watch me get in these, and you can see the difference. Now overall, they're about the same to get into. You just have to climb a little higher on the Takeuchi. Everything's about the same. Basically, climb up in them. Now the Takeuchi has 1 bar. The joysticks seem low to me. Like they need to be raised up. Not as comfortable as the Kubota. The Kubota was put my arms on the armrest and I can be very comfortable. The Tak is more, seems like my arms are leaning down to get to the joysticks. Not a huge deal. Probably get comfortable after a while running it. Just something I noticed off the bat. Now visibility out both sides is not as good as the Kubota. Now the reason I say that is they have this bar here, where the Kubota has it too. It just seems like with this bar and the wider arms, you have less visibility. Now that is when the booms are down. You barely ever have your booms down. The most of the time your boom is off the ground a couple feet. That would put that huge arm right in your visibility. So I feel like the visibility out the sides aren't as good as the Kubota. Your visibility out the back is, though, a lot better in the Takeuchi. And out the back corner here. Very nice. Other thing I noticed about this machine, no radio here. It's actually right here, and it's very easy to get to. So are the AC and heat controls, where on the Kubota, they're right here under your armrest. They're a pain to get to. Where on the Tak, the radio, the AC, everything is right here. All you gotta do is take your hand off the joystick, boom, you're there. Your screen is right here, pretty much like the Kubota. That tells you everything, your fuel, all that stuff. Leg room, there's less leg room in the Takeuchi. Less leg room, but more arm room. If you see me in the Kubota, I set my arms down. My arms are, I mean, they have no play room. The Kubota cabs are very big for a typical skidster compared to a cat or a deer, a bobcat, anything like that. But the Takeuchi wins the space room. I mean, I could, you know, I can do all kinds of stuff in here. This thing is huge. Bigger room for your elbows. Like I said, though, not as much leg room as the Kubota, but still a lot of leg room. Overall, the cab, I would say, is a little bit louder than the Kubota cab. Now, both machines are running a Kubota motor. I believe they're the same motor. The Tak just turns the motor up more. This is 111 horse, that is 97 horse. So overall, same motor, same stuff. The cab is just huge. I mean, just big. I got in a Kubota for the first time years ago, and I thought, wow, this is the biggest cab that I've ever seen. These Takeuchis, these things are, I mean, huge. I mean, you could be a big dude and run this thing and be very comfortable all day. The only thing I wish about the cab that could be a little bit better is the joysticks. The joysticks are low and they need to come up. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but my arms are not my elbows aren't resting. They have to be up in the air. And the joysticks are, I don't know how to put this, easier to use than the Kubota. They're probably electric over hydraulic, so running these all day is, I mean, you could move them with your fingers, you know, where the Kubota is a little more stiff. And they could work their way out of that too, but these are just, I mean. So for my first test, I would like to take a scoop and try to turn in high range in the sand. I know that's not what you're gonna do on a daily basis. You're gonna put it down in low range, but I wanna put it in high range. You know what, we'll do it high range and low range. The first, I'll do it in low range, and second, I'll do it in high range. I wanna grab a scoop and then try to turn in the loose sand and see how much power you lose. I will be coming down the hill, and then I'll be turning around, going back up the hill. So we're gonna see how much power the machine loses in the sand. Time to try the Kubota. The first pass will be low range, second pass will be high range. 3 logs. They get bigger as we go. We'll see which one it makes us stop at. Go. Picked that one, no problem. I had to rock it back and forth to get the second one to lift all the way up. Third one, it wanted nothing to do. Alrighty, we're gonna try the Takeuchi. Same thing, same 3 logs. They get bigger as they go. We'll see what the Tak can do. Takeuchi wouldn't lift the 3rd log, but it lifted the second one a little easier. So I was hoping it'd lift the 3rd log, but it didn't. So that's a little disappointing. That's sometimes the timber we get into, so I need it to be able to lift a good sized log. And a little disappointed it wouldn't do that. So we'll see. So I did most of my tests, some of it with the camera off, just because I'm trying to make a decision here and I can't focus on the camera. So trying to focus on which one I want. There's a few things I want to talk about that I haven't yet and that you can see in other people's videos. They have run these machines with mowers, mulchers or mowers, and I've watched quite a few of them. That's why I didn't do much of it here. I do a little bit of mowing and mulching. Not a whole lot, but I do some. And the Takeuchi, it stays cool longer than the Kubota. So I watched a couple videos where the Kubota would overheat in 45 minutes to an hour, where the Takeuchi was 3-4 hours and still running, no problem. So you could check some of those videos out. They're all over YouTube, but that's why I did not do a video on the mowing, because there's so many out there already. So My video was more about maintenance, visibility, comfort, and just a few things that I wanted to test. Lifting capacity, you know, turning it into loose sand. I did do some dirt work with them, didn't put it in the video, but overall, I think dirt work, the Kubota over here is a little bit better, just because of the visibility to your blade, your cutting edge on your bucket. A little bit smoother machine, so for cutting a grade or anything like that, I think the Kubota was a little bit better in that department on the dirt work. Now on the lifting capacity, on spec sheet, and I will put these on there, the Takeuchi is supposed to lift a whole lot more than the Kubota. The Kubota tipping load is like 8,500, and I believe the Takeuchi is like 11,000 or something like that. Something quite a bit difference. I put 3 logs out in a row. The bigger the log, or the farther the row, the bigger the log. So start with a small log, medium log, bigger log, and the Kubota went first. I knew it wasn't going to lift the 3rd log. It struggled pretty hard to get the 2nd log in the air. I had to rock it back and forth and keep getting it up. The 3rd log, it wanted nothing. It didn't even want to try. Now I took the Takeuchi and did the same thing, and I was thinking it would lift the 3rd log. The 2nd log, it lifted. I did not have to rock it back and forth. It did lift it up. The 3rd log, it did not lift up. It lifted it probably 3 or 4 inches off the ground to be able to move it around. And the only reason I know that is because I got the log out with the Kubota, and I had to push it through the dirt to get it to where it was. And then when I put it away, I put it away with a Takeuchi, and I could lift it up just enough to get it to the pile, you know, without scarring the dirt up, where the Kubota, it was just plowing dirt. So I know the Takeuchi will lift more than the Kubota, but is it enough? I mean, price difference, I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys exact prices, but the Kubotas are in the 80 range, 80,000 range, and the Takeuchi's about 100. So you're looking at, let's say, a $20,000 difference. And for $20,000, is the Takeuchi gonna impress me enough to take over the Kubota? And the reason I say that is my father has a 95 Kubota, and it's been a pretty good machine. And not so much the machine's been great, but the service and the dealership has been just amazing. So and they're only 20 minutes away, where Takeuchi is a little bit farther. I have to buy it through my Alta dealer that I bought my Volvo loader. So they're probably a good hour, if not a little longer, to get to the dealership. Warranty is a big thing too. Takeuchi has a 2-year, 2,000-hour warranty. That's fairly good. The Kubota, though, it's unreal. It's you get like a 5-year warranty with the thing, bumper to bumper. They both cover everything. Both warranties cover everything. Rollers, idlers, all that stuff. The only thing it doesn't cover is rubber tracks. So the Kubota has a really good warranty, you know, and that's a big thing with all this new equipment nowadays. All this new equipment nowadays is junk. If you ask me, it's junk. But it's all the sensors and all the wiring they put on them nowadays. No one wants to mess with it, so they usually have to go to the dealer to get work done. Overall, both really nice machines. Cabs are both roomy, slide open windows just like I wanted. So overall, they're really good machines. The warranty is better on the Kubota than it is the Takeuchi, but the financing and 0 down, 0% on the Kubota is very cool, because if anyone's in business, they need to understand that. Keep your capital and use someone else's money. And when you're getting 0 down, 0%, that's a no-brainer. You're pretty much just paying a payment without any interest. And as a business owner, you need to keep your capital to be able to do other things. And the Kubota definitely helps with that, because you're not paying interest, and it's not, you know, taking all your money to do it down. Where the Takeuchi is a percentage and, you know, typical loan and all that. Other than that, I couldn't tell you much more about them. Now it's just my turn to make a decision on what I'm gonna do here, and I need to kind of make it before the end of the weekend, and it's Saturday, so I'm gonna run them a little more this weekend, kind of figure out what I want to do. But like I said, $20,000 difference. I was really hoping the Takeuchi would lift more. I do know from the videos I've seen it will stay cooler longer when you're mowing, so that's a big benefit. Lifting capacity was my #1 thing, because when we take a machine to a job, we don't want to have to bring another machine to the job. We want to just do it all with one machine. And if I get some big timber on a job and the skidster won't lift it, I have to bring another loader in. So at that point, these are the 2 biggest machines on the market. I don't think there's much bigger than this, and I really need to figure out if I want to spend another roughly $20,000 just to find out that, you know, you're still gonna have to bring another machine to the job. So by the end of the weekend, I'll make a decision on either one of these, and of course I'll let you guys know. But I appreciate you guys coming along, and hit that like and comment button, and ask me any questions you guys got, and ring that little bell. I appreciate it.